Rusame reader, Crow Song, and today I will be reading to you from Black Coffee by MysterySaviour. Now, on to Act 1, Chapter 2. If the screaming stopped, maybe he'd be able to think straight. Or, well, gay in his case. But really, stress from college, a neglected lunch, and not sleeping for over 24 hours was the main cause of his swirling headache. But the screaming certainly did not help. I ordered a chai iced tea with caramel syrup, 2 shots of coffee, and whipped cream on top. Is that really so hard to do? The woman in front of him scolded. She looked like someone who wanted to pick a fight for the sake of fighting. Seemed like one, too. She had graying blonde hair and blue eyes, which didn't match too well with her 2 shades too dark foundation to make her look tanned. She had on some gray sweatpants and an ugly green wool sweater. She might have been beautiful once, but now she was almost as unattractive as her personality. Although that wasn't really America's place to say as a gay country. I'm so sorry, ma'am, but if I have to make your drink for you again, you're going to have to pay. America struggled to keep his voice level and his eye from twitching. Excuse me? The woman roared, slamming her hand on the counter, only causing America's headache to worsen. You fucked up my order, so you have to fix it for free. Well, yes, but America waved his hand over the 5 drinks he had made to try and fix his first mistake, hoping to shed light on the situation without using words. The real problem was that the woman kept changing her order over and over. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to take your drink and leave, ma'am. Trying his hardest not to grin, America turned to meet his savior, his manager, Kevin. The woman opened her mouth to retort, but he was already hurrying her out the door. Thank you so much for choosing to drink at our lovely establishment, but you really should be off now. Goodbye. Kevin slammed the door behind her, turning over the sign on the glass to signify that the shop was now closed. He wound down the blinds over the door and sighed, walking back to the counter. I'm so sorry about that, sir. She comes in every day just to get free drinks. It's the worst. Kevin had always respected America. Not because he was studying and working, not because he was especially good at his job. No, he respected him because on one dreary day, America hadn't had nearly enough sleep to keep up a disguise. So Kevin happened to catch him sleeping in the back room. USA's flag for a face, sunglasses crooked and drooling on the coffee beans. Good thing Kevin was patriotic, or he would have had a real situation on his hands. It's fine. I don't usually have to deal with her anyway, since I take morning shifts. Exactly. Let's hope you won't have to again, America took off his apron and grabbed his bag from the back. It was a small red, white, and blue side bag that he kept his essentials in. Adjusting his sunglasses, he waved goodnight to Kevin and stepped outside into the cold night air. He sighed, his breath fogging up in front of him. He stared up at the stars, watching them twinkle contently. There were no cars, no people around, which is what America liked most about this part of town. Sure, he could usually be quite the social butterfly, but after a busy day, it was nice not to have to answer to any of the hustle and bustle of the city. But despite the serenity of the night sky, his headache had only worsened, making him feel his pulse in his face and causing his eyes to blur occasionally. He was probably standing there for a good 10 minutes before the footsteps rang loud enough for him to hear. They were frantic and fast paced. It sounded like someone was running right at him. Watch out! In a blur of red, white, and blue, America was bowled over by a tall figure, probably the one who was running full speed at him. Blad, sorry about that, sir, the figure mumbled as he tried to untangle their bodies. America recognized that deep voice and that charming accent. Russia? He asked, amused and surprised, narrowing his eyes to try and distinguish Russia's features against the sharp street light lamp that was right behind him that was casting his face in deep shadows. Russia tilted his head to the side, narrowing his eyes to try and adjust them to the dim amber light. America? He said, confused. Yeah, dude. Russia smiled for a second before a blush dusted his cheeks. He quickly scrambled to his feet and pulled America up with one hand. Damn, he was strong. Sorry about that, America. Russia apologized again, rubbing the back of his neck. Nah, don't worry about it. The shorter grinned, brushing himself off. And you can call me a May. America's long as hell. I will do that then. So, may I ask why you're running at 60 miles per hour to say hi? I was going to get coffee. Russia looked back at the closed cafe and sighed. Guess I was too late. America hummed before wincing at the pounding in his head. He went against the brick wall of the cafe and took a pack of cigarettes out of his bag, shaking one out of the box and into his hand. Smoking kills, you know. Russia chuckled, knowing full well countries weren't as weak as humans and couldn't get cancer. Yeah, well, that's why I have them for days where I feel like I'm dying, America remarked sourly, lighting the end and placing the orange side in his mouth. Good thing they have not worked so far, then. Maybe it's good for you, but I paid $20 for these. The two laughed. Russia leant on the wall next to him, their shoulders just barely grazing each other. He looked up at the night sky and sighed. Beautiful, isn't it? Stunning, America agreed, blowing a puff of smoke downwards so it didn't obstruct his view. When I was a child, Russia began wistfully, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to explore space and walk on the moon and do all kinds of things up there. But my father always told me to aim higher, ironically enough. Mine too, America hissed softly. He wanted me to become a lawyer and take over his firm. Never even considered me doing anything else. The other nodded gravely. But, America continued, eventually I realized that my dad wasn't everything. I realized I was living for him, not me. So I said, fuck it, moved out, and started studying engineering. America made sure not to mention the part about him being kicked out due to being gay, living on the street and struggling to stay alive. Russia turned to America, eyes wide. You're going to be an astronaut? I'm gonna be an astronaut, America repeated, grinning up at his fellow country. shit, Russia breathed, looking up at the stars with wonder. You could become one too. America straightened himself, bouncing up and down with excitement. I could help you study and tutor you, and we could become astronauts together. Russia chuckled at the shorter country's enthusiasm before frowning. I do not have the kind of funds to get into a university. You could get a scholarship. I want you to achieve your dream too. Please just try. Looking back up to the sky, Russia pondered it before saying, I will think about it. America fist-bumped the air triumphantly and adjusted his glasses, his cigarette long abandoned on the cement. Russia stepped away from the wall and looked down at the ball of energy in front of him, with eyes shining with gratitude. Thank you, Ame. America shuddered at the use of the nickname in such a deep voice. No problem, Russ. Russia rolled his eyes affectionately at his new nickname and began walking away. Wait, can I have your number? America called after him. You won't need it, Russia called back, giving him a wave before he disappeared down the road. What kind of vague shit is that? America mumbled to himself, a little disappointed. As he walked off in the opposite direction towards his shitty studio apartment, he realized something strange. His headache was completely gone. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you really enjoyed it. Anyway, that being said, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. Anyway, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.